time, we'll just try to give a gist of all the concepts. Today, we are going to see we are going to the second module, that is the consumer behavior theories. Okay, so in consumer behavior theories, if you go to start with, we start with what is the approaches being used to analyze the consumer behavior. So in economics, there are two different approaches. One is cardinal utility approach. The next one is ordinal utility approach. Cardinal, if you say the giving a number or something which can be evaluated in in quantitative measures, 20, 30, likewise, we can give a number and we can make a analysis of it. Ordinal utility is something like ranking something or giving a preferences, telling what our preferences is all about. So that is the difference. So in economics, if you want to understand consumer behavior, it will have both the concepts. So not only both, but there will be lots of complication. In certain cases, it will be you could not give any values to certain things. Like for example, if I'm asking you a question what is the satisfaction level of consuming a particular product, like anything. I can take it as an example, and if I'm asking you what is the satisfaction level of you, then you cannot actually exactly, there is no measurement for it, because satisfaction cannot be measured. But in economics, there are lots of things which has to be measured in terms of satisfaction only. So for that, they have introduced this utility approaches where you will be giving certain numbers to it, and that is you can say that this much of, we will be asking a kid, no, how much you love your mother, then they will show this much. So here, instead of saying this much, we were trying to give some values for it, and with that value we are analyzing how their behaviors will be. So their behaviors towards consumption of certain products. So they, when they are, the actual value is being given, that we call it as a cardinal approach. So normally, if you want to understand what is this cardinal approach, now we can take an example of law of diminishing marginal utility. So this theory explains this cardinal approach. So cardinal approach was this concept was propounded by Marshall. So otherwise this is called as a Marshallian approach also. So where he has introduced a measurement to utility. So how we are measuring height, weight, and all. Likewise, we can also measure satisfaction. And to measure the satisfaction, the unit which is used, we call it as utils. So through utils, we can measure it. And again, this is not an exact value. This can be an imaginary value. Actually, it is an imaginary value only, and it differs for each individual. So if I'm going to ask you what is the satisfaction level that you derived from consumption of this particular item, or what is the satisfaction level that you derived from this particular class, or what is your satisfaction level after visiting that particular place, likewise. So all these are these will be giving you an idea about consumer behavior, what consumer prefers. So for that, this cardinal utility approach is used, where a numbering will be given. So that is cardinal. So cardinal can be measured in terms of quantitative numbers. It has a number, and if it has a number, that number can be analyzed. Or if you don't have a number, a dummy number can be put into, and you can make an analysis of it. So that you will get to understand when we are going with the law of diminishing marginal utility theory. So that theory will be giving you a very good idea about this cardinal utility approach. And that is a very basic theory where we can understand how a consumer behaves to a particular product. So if you know the importance of that product, then you can definitely you can understand how the consumer will be preferring. And then the next one is the ordinal utility approach. So ordinal utility approach is here it is not a number, like I cannot say 20 utils, 30 kg, 20 liters. Likewise, there is no measurement in ordinal utility. Again, why this? Because in economics, if you take, there will be certain things like where we will tell our preferences, and like based on the preferences we can rank them. So ranking is very much possible in economic concept. So there, wherever this ranking is being done, wherever people's preferences are analyzed, there we can use this ordinal utility approach. And this ordinal utility approach is propounded by Hicks and Allen. And like if you want to understand this concept, again a theory is introduced, indifference curve analysis. So that indifference curve, it will teach you about the ordinal utility approach, where the preferences will be taken into account. And they believe that the people are not satisfied with one particular way of, so like one particular commodity, or like no one is happy with one thing. So they will need a multiple concept and how they make a preferences. So for example, this again I can tell you, like if I'm giving you some three options, um, like that is today this hour you can do these things. Likewise, I'm giving you one is that, like if you are on campus, I'm giving this as an example. One is that you can go to a canteen, one option. The second one is that you can go to the garden area, sit and chat with your friends, chatting or watching some movies in your mobile phone, something like that. So entertaining. Okay, so one is food, which you want to take it, and another one is the entertainment I'm providing you, and the third option is that you have to go and you have to do an assignment. Okay, you have to go to the library, and there it is not an online references, like you have to go to the library, use the material available in the library, and you have to make an assignment. If I'm giving this three task, okay, so actually it is, again it is not only three tasks, it can be one task. Like if it is on campus, and if I'm telling that you have to do an assignment, automatically people will do all these things. No, so some people, those who are very hungry, like those who want to take their, those who have not taken their breakfast, they will be going to the canteen to have food. And the people, those who feel that okay, we can cheat it, we can do some other assignments and we can give it, let me go and enjoy, the people mentality will be like that. There will be some few students who really want to do it, and they will be obeying it, and they will be going to the library. So this is the preferences, the people's mentality. So what is their preferences? It differs. Okay. But if I'm giving an option, if I'm giving an option, and if I'm asking you that all these three things you can do it in this 1 hour. Okay. So it is not needed that you have to do only one, but I'm giving an option to you, and I'm saying that whichever the thing you want to do it, you have to do it, but all the three you have to do it. So in, if I'm giving all the three options to you, so then again, based on your preferences, you will rank it. Like the one who thinks that doing assignment is very important, he will say that first I will go to the library, do the assignment, and then I will have some leisure time with my friends, and then I will come to canteen. By the time when I come to canteen, it will be lunch time, so I can have it. So that can be a preferences. The same way, someone like who have skipped the breakfast, they may choose first option will be like they will be going to canteen, have some food, and after having some food, they will have some leisure time, and after that, they will go and refer to the assignment. Like they will refer to the library and do the assignment. So the options, the preferences, it differs. And when if I'm asking you to put a rank to it, you will be giving a different ranking to it. So this, based on this ranking, what is the preferences of most of the students, if I'm going to analyze it, that becomes an ordinal utility approach. Okay, so many things we can analyze it in economics, again only through ordinal utility approaches. So in economics, like if you're doing a project or if you're doing a PhD, whatever that you're going to analyze it, so your questionnaire should be arranged in a form that it has a cardinal utility, like where you can use a cardinal utility approach and an ordinal. So cardinal means exactly they will be giving you some values. Ordinal means they will be telling your preferences, or they will be giving a ranking for it. Like for example, I made a study on national highways construction. So there was a question like what is that you feel say happy while traveling in this national highways. So if I give any one option for this, that won't be a suitable one. Why? Because when we are traveling on national highways, we will be feeling many things. So here what we will be are doing is that we will give some options and we'll ask them to rank it. So whatever they prefer first, they will be ranking that. So based on the ranking, we can make an like we can use some tools and we can make an analysis and we can say that yeah, this has been liked by most of the people. So likewise, again, we can give a ranking order for the preferences of the people, and based on that, like we can make some changes in the economic policy. So this is what is this is how actually we study economics about. Okay, so that is what I am telling. So normally, not only consumer behavior, but some complicated items or some complicated concepts in economics we can analyze this through cardinal approach and ordinal approach. And why here it is particularly taken to consumer behavior, because anything that we are doing, it can be a commodity or it can be a services, we are doing it for the consumers only. And if you don't know what is the mentality of the consumer, then like doing the process is a waste. So you should know what is the demand, what is the preferences of the consumer, or how the consumer will be behaving towards this particular commodity or the services. Based on that only you can start your business. It can be anything. So to understand the consumer, these are the tools which is being given by the economist, so that we can make an analysis. So to understand these approaches also, what they have done is that they have given some theories also. So cardinal utility approach, if you take the law of diminishing marginal utility is the best example, and ordinal utility approach, if you take the indifference curve, is the best example. So which will be giving you a clear idea about like how they have done their theory, and in the same way like how we can use it in our own analysis. Okay, so we will go on to the concept. I'm not going to take the like what to say, the diminishing marginal utility now. The theory I'm not going to take, but I will explain all the concepts today. And with that, I will wind up the class because I have to go to the NAC work. Okay, I really don't want to cancel the class, so I'm just taking it. I thought of taking half an hour at least. Okay, so the next one is the concept utility, as I said. So utility is it is a synonymous which states like it is a pleasure or satisfaction, or the sense of fulfillment, or how my desire is being satisfied. Likewise, all these things are utility. So in economics, in one word, like if I want to say this pleasure, satisfaction, all these things, I use utility. So I don't take I don't say satisfaction, I don't take pleasure and all. It is my utility, a consumer's utility. So utility is one satisfying power of a commodity, or again it can be of a service also. Okay, it is not only like, don't take it for commodity alone, always take it for services also. So utility, it is a one satisfying power of a commodity or a services. So what is that, like after consuming this, what is the satisfaction that I'm going to derive after traveling in it? What is the satisfaction that I'm going to derive? So that is what is utility. So actually utility is a psychological phenomena. That is how the consumer is feeling. Okay, so their feeling is being taken here. So that's why it has been called as a psychological phenomena. So that is the thing. So concept wise, like if you take, there are initial utility, total utility, and marginal utility. Okay, so initial utility means when we are consuming the very first unit of a commodity, or the very first unit of that services, or the very first minute, the 5 minute or 1 hour of traveling, like what is that you are going to analyze it. Based on that, the very first unit. You can have your own measurement of an unit, but it should be same. The unit should not differ. The unit should be same. Okay, so that is the concept. So what is the very first unit when it has been consumed or when it has been enjoyed? What is that you are getting? Like how you are how you feel. So that is what is the initial utility. Total utility means if I'm consuming some 10 units means after consuming all these 10, so unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, likewise, after consuming all the 10, totally what is that I'm going to get it. So that is what is the total utility. Or like if for first unit consumption, it will be that unit as the total utility. When I'm consuming the second commodity, first unit and the second unit combined together, what is the satisfaction I'm getting? That will be becoming my total utility. So total utility is nothing but gathering of all this satisfaction level. So it can be called as the aggregate of utilities obtained from the consumption of a different units of commodity. So that is what is total utility. Then the marginal utility. So marginal utility is that like when we are consuming a particular unit of a commodity, while consuming that particular unit of a commodity, what is the satisfaction I am getting? So that is called as a marginal utility. Like for example, if I'm consuming the fifth unit, right now, like I already have consumed 4 units, I'm consuming fifth unit right now. So if it is being asked like what is the marginal utility means, like while consuming the fifth unit, what is my satisfaction level? So how I am feeling at that point of time, not at the beginning of consumption. So when I'm consuming the fifth unit, what is my satisfaction level? That is called as the marginal utility. So always marginal utility will be measured in such a way that for this unit, what is the differences from the previous unit? What is my satisfaction level and what is the differences? That will be giving you the marginal utility value. So for example, fifth unit, if I'm consuming means fifth unit minus the previous unit. That will be giving me the value. So that is the marginal utility concept. And marginal utility, why it is calculated? Because in economics, please keep it in mind, these marginal values are playing a very important role, not only here in utility, but all the concepts, like you can see marginal cost, marginal revenue, everything. Why? Because that these marginal values will be giving you the exact feelings of what the consumer or producer are thinking at that particular point of time. Okay, so that is very much essential in economics. That's why we are calculating this marginal utility. Students, please note here that here in the formula marginal utility, you can see that mu is equal to tu of n plus tu of n minus 1 they have given. Actually, it is not plus, it is minus. Okay, please take a note of it. Marginal utility is equal to total utility of n, this particular unit, minus marginal utility of n minus 1 means the previous unit. N minus 1 means n is a present unit. So n minus 1 will be the previous unit. So what is the utility, total utility that you are getting in the previous unit? That is the concept. So marginal utility is total utility of this unit minus the total utility of the previous unit. So here it is written as plus. Actually, it should be minus. Again, like it is picture format. I'm not able to edit it. That's why it has been as plus. So please make a note of it. Marginal utility is nothing but total utility of n minus total utility of n minus 1, the previous one. Okay. So this is the formula. So likewise, you can calculate the marginal utility also. Then comes some different types of marginal utility. So it is called the positive marginal utility, zero and negative. Only these three things are possible in marginal utility. So positive means there will be a positive value. Okay, so positive value, but marginal utility can never be an increasing concept. Always the marginal utility will be a diminishing concept only. That when I'm going to the theory, I will explain it. But now I'm telling you So marginal utility can be positive. So when it is positive, the total utility will be increasing. Okay. So total utility, when you are making a calculation, total utility will be increasing. That time the marginal utility will be positive. When the total utility remains to its peak, the constant position, when it becomes the same constant, at that level, marginal utility will be zero. Okay, so like for example, total utility constant mean what it means. Previous consumption also, if I'm saying 30 utils, and present consumption also, if I'm saying 30 utils. So what will be the marginal utility? 30 minus 30, it will be 0. So that is the concept. So when the total utility reaches its maximum, or when it reaches its peak level, the marginal utility will be 0. When the total utility itself starts to decline. Okay, so when you are making a calculation, when the total utility itself starts to decline, that time the marginal utility will be negative. So negative in the sense, like people, they don't no more they need your product. That is the concept. So when it reaches 0, that level itself we have to stop it, whatever might be. So when it reaches 0, that level itself, if you stop it, you are in a safer side. But if you are going to force someone to have the commodity, or if you are going to produce a commodity, then you will be in a loss. So this is the concept. So normally the marginal utility will be positive, 0 and negative. Only these three things will be there, and it cannot be like any other things, like marginal utilities having any other values. So these are the things. So the next one is, yes, this is something related with the theory, law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay. So this we will see in the next class, because it is a theory. I have to explain with the all the diagrams. But please be clear with the explanation that I have given right now. Okay. So these are the basic ideas about utility theories. Please have an idea. And